Hey there guys, what's going on today? Another review video with PWCat30 here. This one is actually concerning, not putty, but, lately, whenever I, whether it's, just for exercise, recreational purposes, where I live, I have to take a lot of public transportation, so I don't really drive, so, and it's actually in a way better that way, because, New York City, it's one of those cities where you really don't have to drive. I mean, you can, but yeah, it's not necessary. I mean, you have other options of transportation, other means, whether it's work or going to school or running errands or exercise, whatever the case is. So yeah, and I've found I'd like to save money on buses and stuff, so. Instead of just, walking everywhere and taking a million buses, transfers, etc., which, I still do, and you could still do, transfer save money, but, sometimes it's a pain in the ass, and, you figure, all right, why go through all that when you could avoid it? So, when I was younger, I used to have mountain bikes and, the BMX bikes and stuff, so, but it's been years, and now I'm actually going to try to invest in a folding bike, which are very convenient, slick looking, they fold compact, very cool. But that'll probably be the next thing I, get as far as means of transportation, for myself. So, in the meantime, I figured, I used to skateboard a little bit, and then I looked into longboards, and I'm like, I'm not really, it's fun, but it's not really practical. It's not really practical. It's not really a practical way to, It's not a good way for transportation, pretty much, more or less, I mean, there's just, if you gotta be somewhere, or you want to move fast, I mean, longboarding is good for, I guess, cruising around the street, more for recreational purposes, in my opinion, but as far as if you gotta get to a certain point within a decent amount of time, it's not as efficient or convenient as, say, a kick scooter, like I have in front of me here, or a bike. So, yeah. Like I said, maybe a couple of blocks, no big deal. Maybe some skaters would disagree with that, but I'm talking more like 10 plus blocks in like a nifty amount of time, So, yeah, very short, decent amount of time. So anyway, what I have here is I did some research, and let me sit down here, get a closer look. The wheels. Pretty much I did some research on it, and yeah, on adult kick scooters, and this is the Razor A5 Lux. Comes with the little kickstand here. There's two of them. There's the red one, the red and silver one, which I didn't want because I thought it looked too kiddie personally, and the blue one. Now, even the blue one I thought looked a little, kind of somewhat kiddie from the pictures, but then when I got it, I'm like, I don't know if you could tell from if the camera's doing it justice or not, but it's like a very cool metallic blue. It's not a sky blue or like a kitty looking color. It's really cool looking actually. So yeah, it's a really cool color. It's got the grip tape all on the bottom of it. That's another thing, unlike the original model where it just had like one little section. This one has the entire, from like here all the way up to here. Not that anyone would put their foot up there, but, I don't know, maybe for tricks or something, who knows. I haven't really done tricks with it outside of bunny hops and, minor tail spins, nothing crazy. I'm not really a trick guy. Like I said, I got this for cruising around faster and getting to places and also saving money on public transportation. So, it's got this nice little fender brake here, which is really, really nifty. Here, let me unfold it for you guys here so you can get a better idea. Let me put that there. And it's got this really easy quick release system right here. So you can just pick this up and go wherever you want. If you need to fold it, well, what you do is you just pull it up, and then, you fold it up until it clicks there. And, yeah, and you're all set, really. And you can just adjust the handlebars however you like. Here, let me put the kickstand. This kickstand's pretty cool. Yeah. See? You don't have to worry about like standing it on something or like other scooters. And that's another thing, you know, the kickstand is very convenient in a lot of ways because, let me just put that around. If you want to know, this thing tends to spin around a full 360, so if you ever wonder, oh, which way is the right way, just keep in mind the little Razor icon has to be in the front, and the quick release thing here, this flap is always facing you, like your belly, you know, area, so that's how, if you're wondering, oh, how do I know which way? Or you could always just, the Razor written on it, you know, make sure it's facing this way. You know, not that way. So if you got nothing in the front, it's backwards. So yeah. Now, you could also adjust the stem here by flipping the quick release that way, and you could raise it up and down, however you like. And if you pull it all the way up, it stops at a certain point via the little button snap there, or you know, the little ball. And then, you know, you just tighten it up like that, and you don't have to stop at the ball. You could, you know, you could also, you know, say you're a little shorter, and you know, I mean, this is like the max height here, pretty much. So let me see if I could. All right, I'm already zoomed out, but you could tell that's very tall. So this thing is like very convenient for people, I'd say anywhere from 8 years old. I think they recommend to adult. So unless you're like pretty much 6 feet or exceeding that, you could use a scooter. And by the way, the weight capacity for this thing is 220 pounds. So, you know, it's like here, I'm standing on 2 feet right now. Yeah. But I mean, I'm only like 150, so. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's great for all adults, all sizes. Like I said, as long as you don't exceed the 220 pound limit, that's what they say on the site and on Amazon. So it's pretty damn strong, and this brake works like a gem. Let me tell you, if you're flying, and you know, you just put pressure on that, and it stops you immediately. You know. Totally stops you on the dime. You don't have to worry about that. If you have balance issues, you may want to practice with it first a little bit. Let me just tighten that. Alright. So yeah. Trying to think what else. Oh yeah. You can even adjust the handlebars. Kind of. I mean, not really adjust them. I should say, if you want to make it more compact, so you want to fold it. Put that there for you. See, what you do is you could just push the little ball in, and they could dangle there. That's if you want it more compact. And so you want to fold it. What you do is push the handlebars down again, like I already showed you. And then you got this. So yeah, let me put that there actually. So yeah, look how compact that is. Great for taking, you know, with you if you gotta travel, if you gotta go on a bus, a subway, a car, whatever. And I've tried it. You know, on the buses, it's great. You know, I tend to go to comic book shop every Wednesday, or at least a few times a month, pick up my comics, and it's great. You know, I could just sit on the bus and rest this right on my lap. You know, so it's very compact, very somewhat discreet. I mean, maybe not as discreet as some of the other scooters with smaller wheels, but that's another thing about this scooter that's great. Check this out. Yeah, put that there. That's good. All right, these are 8-inch wheels, urethane, very tough. I thought they were, I'll admit, before I bought this, I was very skeptical with this plastic, because I figured, I don't know, it's plastic, you know, as soon as I do a few bunny hops or go over a couple of big bumps, it's going to crack. Boy, was I wrong. This is some strong material. I mean, you could like really, it's very, very hard. and it spins great. The bearings on this sucker are awesome. I believe it's A5 bearings. You could switch it out if you'd like, you know, with other bearings. I'm probably not going to do that because I'm not much of a mod head, but yeah. Now the only other scooter I was really comparing it with were the Xootrs, which in my opinion, from what I've read about them and seen about them, it's not worth the money. They cost like a minimum of $220 plus, and that's like the cheapest, roughly around there. So I said, yeah, screw that. I'm not paying that much money for a kick scooter. If I'm going to pay that much money, I might as well get a folding bike, you know, for around there. So, you know, I know some people like them, and they're like, oh, they're like the best. They're like the, you know, the Cadillac or the Mercedes or the Lexus of kick scooters, so they say. But honestly, while you could get models that are full magnesium, full metal, etc., I just don't like the fact that they all come with front hand brakes, the Xootrs, which are okay, I guess, but I've seen videos where they don't work. One guy was actually spinning the wheel, and whenever he adjusted the stem, it would stop the wheel instantly for whatever weird reason. Another guy, you know, said the brake didn't exactly stop him all the time. You know, personally, I think the rear fender brake with any kick scooter is way more effective, because if you're going fast, especially down a hill, which I have on this thing, you're gonna fly, like go 15, 20 miles an hour, depending on the slope. And just think, if you want to stop yourself, do you want to stop with the front wheel and potentially go flying over the kick scooter, or do you want to stop gradually with the back wheel and then, you know, just gradually come to a stop? You know, you're going to want the back wheel. And believe me, I tested it tons of times, you know, skidding with this thing, stopping, you know, gradually, instantly. The more pressure you put on this thing, the faster and quicker you're going to stop. It works, believe me. And this is also solid, by the way. This brake is like solid aluminum. I mean, it's very top quality Razor, you know. These are like firmer hard wheels. I believe, I'm trying to remember what the actual specs are. I think they're like, I don't know if they're like 89 or in the 83 level. But I want to get a micro also, because those wheels are supposed to be a little softer, slightly smaller, also pretty fast. That's another thing. This thing's very fast. I just want to, you know, if you check out, read more about it, speed tests, this and some of the, I think the Xootr MG model, I believe, are the faster models. Or the micro's not exactly slow either, but some people say they're slower. I don't know. Some people say it depends if you on the bearings, because the wheels are great on that. So, but yeah, the wheels are great on this thing too. I mean, look at that spin. You know, and I hardly spun that. And, you know, I've seen guys, they spin the wheel and it lasts for a couple of minutes. That I just hardly pushed, and it's already, like, you know, doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. So, yeah, you know, pretty much, I would go with, if you're an adult, unless you're very tall, then go for the Kick-Ped, obviously. But, yeah. I spent $90 on this thing. It's $100 in most places, but you know, if you look around, you get cheaper deals on Amazon and eBay, etc. You got free shipping. Takes a little longer to get there, but it's worth it. Yeah, if you're a bigger kid or you're an adult and you want you know, a great kick scooter, great starring kick scooter, I would recommend the A5 Lux. Some people, like I know, a guy named Pine Sap on YouTube, he doesn't like the, I think these are 13 inches in total, or 12 inch, you know, the handlebar stem, which is kind of short for an adult, but it's doable. The micro, I looked up, they have 15 inches. That's another reason why I want that, because I personally, maybe I could do it a little bit longer, but I don't need the 18 inches. Like I know Pine Sap loves the 18 inch, you know, stem, which you can mod on it. That's fine, I guess, you know, if you're a bigger adult or you just want a wider grip. Me, personally, it's not a huge factor. I prefer to squeeze the grips a little bit tighter to the center sometimes when I'm going faster, just to kind of, you know, balance myself better. But yeah, you know, everybody's different, so I could make do with these, although my bigger issue is personally these foam things don't seem very strong. I could see them in like a year or two maybe falling apart. So I think I might just buy some rubber ones and just, you know, put some rubber ones on, grips on there. But yeah, outside of that though, I think I may just get a micro. And yeah, I would not recommend the Xootr because in my opinion, if you just do your own research on it, the wheels are aluminum strong. I'm sure that's great, but this one guy who is in love with Xootrs zoomed in on his Xootr wheels and they were literally falling apart. These, I've seen people post videos of having this scooter, this model, the Razor A5 Lux for like a couple of years, and the wheel looked literally like hardly used. Plus, this is one thing that I notice other people don't do. You can, you don't have to. I choose to because I think it's just better personally, and you take care of your scooter. I tend to clean my wheels a little bit. Like I've used this a couple of times. If you wonder, oh, it looks brand new, that's because I shine my wheels a little bit with Windex and a little water. Because you know they get a little dirty, you know, and I don't want to, you know, ruin my house, or you know, I just don't want to, you know, just try to take better care of them, you know. But yeah, otherwise though, I mean, they're strong, they're very durable. I mean, it's great, and I love it so far, you know. I think I want to get a micro and compare it to this one, because that's one thing I know people haven't really compared. They compare this to the Xootr, they compare the micro to the Xootr, the Kick-Ped, but nobody has gotten all of them yet, or the micro and the A5 Lux, and compared them. So once I get that, I'll do a comparison video, and stay tuned. Comment, rate, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you have any questions about kick scooters, I'm very familiar, or folding bikes, feel free to ask me and I'll help you out. Thanks. Bye.